look really rough. Oh,
Thank you for participating today. We are now joined by student athlete Dana Evans. Your first question will come from Doug Feinberg.
Hey, Dana, Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. Congrats on the win. Just talk about your guys' defense. They had 25 points in the first quarter, and they only had 25 pretty much the rest of the game. So how you guys clamped down defensively to get this win tonight?
well, we knew we had to get stops in order to win this game. So we had to dig in on the defensive end and come up with rebounds. And I think that's what we did. We knew what we had to do to win this game. They're a great team. They came out on fire. They started off 4 for 4 from 3. So we had to make an adjustment, and we did.
Next question is from Jody.
Hey, Dana, Jody Demling from Cardinal Authority. When things were going right in the third quarter, early on, you guys couldn't hit shots. Balls were kind of dropping out of bounds. What was different? Obviously, things different on the defensive end, but what was different on the offensive end when you all got going?
I think we settled down and we were able to find our open teammates. We had to get in the paint and kick to shooters. I think Kiana got hot, so did Haley. So we wanted to keep going to them. And once we started going inside out, that changed the game. And we started making crisp passes, and that got us easier shots.
Next question is from Cameron.
Yeah, hey, Dana, this is Cameron from the Courier-Journal. You've got an inexperienced group here. When you go down 18 points, what do something you say in the huddle or something Jeff says to turn things around?
Well, I just had to stay positive for my team. I knew that they were kind of shocked, and we didn't expect to get down that much. But we had to stay together as a team and just keep fighting because we knew we were going to make a run. They came out and punched us in the face, but we responded well. We started to get stops. We started to push the tempo, and we changed some things, and Coach made adjustments. We started to just settle down and make shots.
Next question is from Chantel. Okay, next question is from Lindsay.
Hey, Dana, Lindsay Schnell with USA Today. First of all, I just want to say your eyelashes are still intact, so you look great. Don't worry at all.
Thank you.
I'm curious, at halftime, you guys had kind of figured things out in the second quarter, but when you go into the locker room just as players, as a veteran, as a leader, are you yelling at people? Did Coach come in and rip you guys at halftime, or was he pretty calm and just said, here are the things we have to change?
No, we both stayed calm. We both stayed positive, and we just knew we had to fight. We knew we had to trust our coaches. We had to trust each other and just grind it out. These are good teams. We're playing good teams, so we expected them to go on runs, and we went on runs. So we just trusted each other. We stayed calm. I stayed positive for my teammates and just kept trying to uplift everybody and make sure that everybody was on the right page.
Lindsay, did you have a follow-up?
Well, I really do want to know how you play with fake eyelashes. Don't they fall out all the time when you sweat? This is not important, but I'm curious.
Well, I go and get them individually put on, so it's kind of hard for all of them to fall off at one time. So the right eye is a little shaky right now. It's a lot of them are starting to come off, getting smacked in the face, but it's okay.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
No problem.
Next question is from Danny.
Dana, I'm kind of curious, that calmness and staying calm, is that a trait of a senior who's been through a lot of battles? Would you have reacted the same way as a freshman, or is that something that, with age comes wisdom kind of deals?
I would say with age, I've been able to settle down, and me and Coach had a talk about how calm I was in our previous games against Virginia Tech, our close games. So I knew I needed to stay calm for my teammates, and I didn't want them to see me worried at all, because if they see me worried, then they worry. So I just wanted to stay positive and stay calm and just let them know that we're going to get back in this game, but it's going to take a team effort.
Next question is from Eric. Eric, you need to unmute yourself.
I'm here. Hey, Dana, it's Eric Crawford from WDRB in Louisville. This was, ESPN said, the third, or matched it, the third largest comeback in NCAA women's tournament history. I know that on the one hand, you don't want to get behind by that much, but you've been through about everything you can been through at Louisville, but these young players have not. How much can this help their confidence as you move forward in this tournament?
I would just say it just lets us know that we're never out of a game. We can fight from behind, and we can play in front. So we just got to stay focused, and we can't come out like that against a good Oregon team that we're about to face. We got to come out focused, come out sharp, not letting people get wide open shots, rebound the ball, play defense, and just stick to our rules.
Next question is from Chantel.
Thank you for unmuting me this time. Dana, I have to say, Lindsay and I do text during the games. We're always impressed with the eyelashes, so thank you for answering that. But my question is actually an on-the-court question for you. You played in this tournament as a freshman. You played well as a freshman, but you had the benefit of a preseason and all the practices and not sort of playing through a COVID season. As you look at the freshmen on your team and the seasons they're putting together, how much more impressive is it to you that they're able to do that, especially at this point in the season when they haven't had sort of a typical freshman year?
I just think it just shows how tough they are. They're willing to do anything for this team. Haley and Olivia, they'll do anything it takes to win a ball game, and that's what I love about them. And that's why we just make sure we stay together, and we want this for each other. So we just play together, and I think it just shows their personality. They're just willing to do whatever it takes.
Next question is from Kent.
This is Kent Taylor from Wave TV in Louisville. Dana, I know it's not a surprise, but with about just a little over 2 minutes to go, you all have the ball. I think you're up 3. You turn it over, and Mikasa makes, where do you see the video of it? Because it's an unbelievable steal. But just kind of, I guess you kind of expect things like that from her, don't you?
I do. We all expect her to come up with big plays like that, because that's just something she brings to this team, and that's why she's so important to us, because of things like that. It was a 2-minute game. It was 2 minutes left in the game. I was ahead of the ball, and I seen her flying, so I was just ready to react to whatever the player was going to do. But when she came up with that steal, that's something that we just expect from her. That's what she brings to this team. She's super tough, and she don't really care about what she get on a stat sheet or anything like that. She just want to contribute to this team, and she just want to see us all win.
Next question is from Cameron.
Hey, Dana, I know, like you said, you don't want to go down like you did today, but what do you learn about this group? So many of them their first NCAA tournament, like Jeff said earlier in the week, the first tournament as a favorite. Just what do you learn from them when they go down like that and you guys are able to kind of pull a comeback like this?
It just shows that we don't give up. We're never going to just lay down and let somebody come out and just beat us. It's going to take a team. We got to stay together. I think it just showed that it doesn't matter how far we get down or how far we get up. We got to keep fighting, and we just got to come ready to play against Oregon, because, like I said, we can't get down like that early in the game again, because then you're putting yourself in a bad position.
Next question is from Jody.
Dana, Coach said that he had a talk with you about, not getting down or not letting your shooting slump kind of affect other parts. It seemed like tonight you didn't kind of get down on yourself, even though you didn't shoot it well, and you made some big plays down the stretch. How have you grown through this slump to help the team when you're still kind of struggling shooting?
Well, I just say everything happens for a reason. Obviously, I got to find other ways to be effective on this team, whether that's scoring the ball, getting people shots, playing defense, rebounding. I think I did a better job with being more aware and getting a rebound today. I didn't just focus on scoring, and I think that's why I had a better all-around game today, because that wasn't my focal point. My focal point was to win the game, do what I had to do for the team, whether that's playing defense, rebounding, getting people shots, because like I said, it took a team effort today. It wasn't just one person. It took everybody. Kiana stepped up huge and made huge plays. Haley stepped up and made a huge shot. Olivia played tough the whole game, and that's what it's going to take.
We have time for one final question, and that will come from Cameron.
Dana, you mentioned Olivia right there. She looked a little frustrated early, but she looked like she was a big spark for you guys, even starting in that second quarter.
Yes.
I don't know if you can put into words the way she impacted the game for you all today.
She impacted the game just by her rebounding, her presence down there, let alone, and she can pass out of a double team. We played inside out. I think that helped us a lot because they doubled, and she was able to find open shooters. I want to say she hit me for my second three of the game on a double, and that was a big turnaround. I think it just took off from there. So she played well. She's a little frustrated with herself, but she'll be okay. I think she'll have a much better game next game because we count on her and we depend on her.
Thank you, Dana, for your time, and best of luck in the next round.
Thank you.
We will be joined momentarily by Coach Jeff Walz. Please use this time to raise your hand if you have a question. We are now joined by head coach Jeff Walz, and the first question will be coming from Doug Feinberg of the Associated Press.
Hey, Coach, Doug Feinberg from the Upper Deck. Just you guys didn't seem to be rattled. You saw there's calmness and such when you were down 25-7 early. Just talk about the poise you guys showed to rally from such a big deficit early on.
Well, Doug, it's really been back-to-back ball games now. So the first thing I'm going to do is change my pregame speech because those two sucked. Not sure they could get much worse. So we'll make an adjustment there. But overall, you got to give Northwestern a ton of credit. Joe did a great job. That team was prepared to play. Starting off, we were really focused on Pulliam and Burton, and we were going to give a few of their other kids, okay, can you make shots? Can you make shots in a second round NCAA tournament game with some pressure on the line? And they definitely did. they came out and just made shot after shot in that first quarter, and then we had to make some adjustments. So, we talked about that at the end of the first quarter. We got, I think, physically beat that first quarter. They got their hand on a lot more loose balls. They got 50-50 balls. They were a lot tougher. But we figured out a way to just adjust the way we were playing, which we had to, or we wouldn't be sitting here right now as excited as these players were in the locker room.
Next question is from Jody.
Hey, Jeff, Jody Delling with CardinalAuthority.com. When you got going in the third quarter, obviously your defense improved a ton, started really in the second quarter, but in the third quarter, what was the difference on offense? Because it seemed like you cut out the turnovers and you had a lot of just like drop balls and things early on. What was the big difference?
Well, you're right, Jody. As I've told our players, I've never claimed to be, some genius or some really smart coach, but I know it helps when you throw it to your own team. So we did talk about that during a timeout, that if we tried to do that, let's see what takes place. And I said it like that to try to get a laugh at them, and they laughed, because at times when things get going and it's going bad, you've got to be able to laugh at yourself, because it was not pretty. From a coaching standpoint, it was a terrible game plan to start off with. And we made the adjustment and the players adjusted. And then as we got going offensively, we started to make the extra pass. Then we started to make some layups. We missed a ton of layups in the first quarter. We had some putbacks that we just could not get to go in. We competed. I think we ended up with 10 second chance points, but we had 12 offensive rebounds. And in that first quarter, it was like we had like 5 offensive rebounds and 2 second chance points. So it doesn't matter if you're just passing the ball to yourself over the rim, then finally they get the rebound. So we started to convert those. And then I thought Olivia was just fantastic. For a freshman to get 13 and 15 and battle the way she did, because she was in there just working, it's pretty darn impressive. She missed some shots that she normally makes, but she stepped up and made some big free throws for us, so I was really proud of her.
Next question is from Haley.
Are you on mute?
Oh, no, we're going to go to somebody else. We're going to go to Eric.
Jeff, you mentioned Olivia. I thought at other points throughout the game, whatever, but I thought Kiana offensively did some big things for you when you needed it, got to the rim once there late in crunch time too, and hit a nice little shot. And then Mikasa, obviously, that steal she had is, a top play type of situation, stopping herself before she goes out of bounds. Those two also, I thought, just really lifted you.
Yeah, I thought everybody, but everybody from that second quarter on contributed. And I thought they contributed at key times. Haley's 3, she knocks down the corner, was a huge shot for us. Kiana gets the 1-3 to go off the little skip pass and hit the side of the rim, the front of the rim. I think the backboard of them rolls in. You've got to get those breaks. And we got them, and it really got us going. And then, as you said, I can't say enough about Mikasa Robinson, and I've said it all year. I called her parents after one of our ball games. I think it was in the ACC tournament, and I talked to her dad and just said, what a pleasure and an absolute joy his daughter, their daughter is the coach. She puts her body on the line every single possession. She doesn't give you anything but 100%. And then she doesn't care if she scores. Now, she wants to. Every kid wants to score. But she knows what her strengths are. And for us today, that play she made was nothing but pure heart and guts. And bounce it off the kid's foot, scrambles, saves it before it goes out of bounds. And it was a crucial play. I think we were up 5 at the time. And then we get the ball back. So really, really proud of Casa. It was a great 3 quarters of basketball. But hopefully now when we get a chance to watch some film and get back to work here, I'll figure out a way to do a little bit better in the first quarter. Heck, I might let my assistants coach the first quarter. I'm so bad at it right now.
We're going to try and go back to Haley.
Yeah, sorry about that. Haley McGoldrick of Sportsnet. Coach, obviously you have faith in all of your players, but in a game like that where kind of your best 5 are on the floor for 30-plus minutes, when you are looking to your bench, what are you looking for from those players coming to sub in?
Well, it's the same thing I told them after the game. I don't just sub to sub. In our Marist game, I took Dana out with about 8 minutes to go or 7.5 to go in the third quarter. And make a substitution. We go 5 guards, and all of a sudden we go on a 20-1 run. As I told him in the locker room, I don't care if LeBron James was sitting on our bench. When we're going on a 21-1 run, I'm not subbing anybody in. If it's not broke, my philosophy is don't fix it. And starting that third quarter, we really started to get some things going. And unless they asked for a sub, I wasn't taking them out just because we had the momentum. Everything was going well. So we went with them. And they're in really good shape. Katie, our strength and conditioning coach, has done a fantastic job through all of this COVID, all the pauses, to try to make sure we kept these young women in the best shape that they could be, and it's showing right now that they are.
Next question is from Kent.
Coach, this is Kent Taylor from Wave TV in Louisville. By the way, you were only up 3 when Mikasa got that steal. That was That was a huge, huge play.
Yeah, it sure was.
Let me ask you, this is, I think, your 10th Sweet 16. This one's different. What are the challenges leading up to 7 o'clock on Sunday night being in San Antonio?
Well, first off, I think we're day 8, and day 10, I think, is when they'll help us with laundry. So the first challenge is I won't have to wash my drawers in the sink, hand wash them, and then I've been using the blow dryer, Kent, to make sure that I get them good and crisp. So they'll actually do some laundry for us, which is a wonderful thing. And then we got to get some rest. We've got to get some rest. We've got some tired campers, and then we've got to try to keep them mentally stimulated. We've been trying to get out as much as we can, although that's very limited right now. But I think there's a joy in all of them after you get this win, after being here. What are we here now? 8 days? 7 days? A week? This is 8 days. So after being here 8 days, excited about that. And then, I think we'll have some more families that can come down. And it's obviously it's difficult for everybody, but hey, we're excited to be continuing to play. I mean, I'm hoping that my family can come down. But at the same time, they can come down, but I can't see them. I can wave to them from the stands, but I can't go and give my kids a hug. I can't give my wife a hug. So, there are some things that you're just going to have to continue to fight through, but it's a great problem to have because we're still playing.
Next question is from Danny.
Hey, Jeff. Danny Davis with the Austin American-Statesman. Dana talked a lot about just kind of her calm demeanor this afternoon and staying cool and collected on the court. And I'm wondering, is that Dana the senior, or is that Dana the player you've seen for the last 4 years?
No, I'm really impressed with her. I mean, she had as good of a 19-game stretch of any player that we've had here at Louisville. For 19 games, I mean, she was phenomenal. And then took a little bit of a stumble, had a tough little game at Florida State, then bounced back, played really well up at Notre Dame, and then just didn't shoot the ball great in the ACC tournament. And we've just continued to talk. And then in our Marist game, she got frustrated with some of the officiating, some of the calls. And, and now she's just, I think she took a step back these past 2 days too and was like, hey, I can't let others dictate the story I'm going to write. And I thought tonight she was fantastic. I took her out of the game just to give her a blow. And she's like, hey, I got you, coach. I got you. And then she got herself about a 4-minute break. And then, boom, she's right back out on the floor and did some great things. I mean, the 3 she hit there in the fourth quarter was a huge shot for us. She stepped in defensively and made some big plays on some switches, caused, I think, 2 or 3 kids to miss some layups because she was in great position. This is a game that you always evolve as players and coaches. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm learning things I can do better. And all players, if they ever tell you that they're not learning and they've got it all figured out, that's normally when things go bad. And that's what I respect about Dana. She's always wanting to get better. And I thought she was just fantastic tonight.
We have time for one more question, and that will come from Cameron.
Hey, Jeff, it's Cameron from the Courier-Journal. And you've talked a lot this year about having such an inexperienced team, one that just hasn't played a lot tournament-wise for you. When you were down 18, what did you see in their eyes? Did they look shocked? Did they look kind of like panicky? And then what did you say to them to try to, you feel like, kind of get this turned around?
You know what? I didn't see a bunch of panic in their eyes at all. I just told them, I said, guys, they're making shots, and then we're just not playing as tough as we need to. And then we just talked about playing 5-minute stretches. Our goal was to get it down. I think we cut it to 10 once in the second quarter. And then our goal was to try to get it to 9 or 8. And, of course, we weren't able to do that. It's a 12-point lead at the half. And then it was like, okay, guys, just first 5 minutes, let's see if we can't go on a 4-0 run, a 6-0 run, and just start chipping away at it. Because I've been on the other end of it too. When you're up 10, up 12, the rim looks so big that it's like, hey, I'm going to make this shot. Then when you get it down to single digits, all of a sudden, it doesn't look quite as big, and the shots get a little bit more pressure on them. And I thought by continuing to just grind and grind, these young women did an unbelievable job. I mean, what did we give them? We gave up 28 points in 3 quarters, but gave up 25 in the first. So just a great mental effort by everyone on this ball club. I'm proud of all of them, and my staff. My staff did a fantastic job.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the victory, and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate you.